Hi everyone. So you guys seem to like my videos, so I decided to make another one. This one is going to be Gen 1 Ubers. The ladder is open in Ruins of Alph as of right now. And for this one, I'm going to be playing Ubers without any Ubers. So my team is kind of like my team for my first video, but I just upscaled it a little bit to compete in the Ubers bracket. So we have Moltres, Slowbro, Executor, Jolteon, Snorlax, and Pinsir. And I'm going to be trying to win with this team. Alright, so let's get into the video and see how it works out for me. So I'm leading Moltres. Why? I find sleep leads are pretty common in Ubers. So I'm fine with Moltres going to sleep. And also, Moltres has a leg up if they miss. So case in point, we have an Executor lead. Why Moltres over Ninetales? Moltres is stronger than Ninetales. And what I'm trying to do with Moltres, if it lives, I'm using it as a lead right now. But if it lives, I'm trying to pop off a burn with Fire Blast after I set up agility. I need to set up agility, pop off the burn, and then burn spin the opponent. And I have had some sweeps with this. You can kill Mewtwo this way. You can kill Mew this way. You can kill Chansey this way, right? Just really aggregating that damage from burn spin. But right now I'm using Moltres as a lead, just to see how it goes, because I'm trying to preserve some of my better Pokemon. Like, I do have an Executor, but I'm not going to lead Executor, because that's really a 50-50 on what you're going to get for your opponent's lead. And I don't find Alakazam or Starmie to be too good of leads in this meta. Mostly because they do get walled by Executor and Chansey. Sing Chansey in particular. And Jinx. I've seen a few Jinxes. Okay, so what's gonna happen? I'm gonna Fire Blast it, duh. I'm not worried about too much about burning things, because I'm already taking a gamble with this team. So it's like, it's not too bad if I burn a Mewtwo. There aren't a whole lot of Starmies or Alakazams. So I decide I'm going to just power through, and I'm not too worried about burning unless there's a freeze on the field. I'm just going to see what happens, really. Is it a meta strategy? No. But I'm not playing meta, am I? Okay, he does get the sleep, right? I make a mistake here. This is my first mistake. This is an early mistake. And when you're playing really suboptimal teams, you don't have a whole lot of room for error. So I send in Executor. I should have sent in Slowbro. I want to save my Executor because he's my sleeper. But I send in Executor because I had a brain fart. Slowbro would have been a better option, because the opponent's Executor, I'm assuming, always runs Sleep Powder, Stun Spore. It always runs Explosion. It's, a typical Uber's Executor. And if I wanted to eat Psychics, I could have sent in Slowbro. Slowbro has a higher defense anyway, and I could have popped off an Amnesia, and I could have rested. Now, granted, this Executor does have rest, but I really would have rather saved Executor. So let's find out if I completely waste this opportunity. So he blows up. He has a burn explosion, though, which is fantastic. Oh yeah, I neglected to mention the importance of getting that burn, is that I'm going to severely weaken the opponent's explosions. And if I would have sent in Slowbro earlier, let's see. Slowbro isn't as useful as he is in OU, I don't think, because there's a higher prevalence of Thunderbolts in Ubers. So I think Executor is a little more useful than Slowbro. So my opponent steals my good idea and sends in Slowbro. So what happens? He's going to start tanking it. I get paralyzed. Paralyzed again. Oh god. But he gets greedy. He gets greedy. I don't know why he did that. I don't know why he did that. He just wants to greed to 4. And, like, I could explode, I could sleep powder. I don't know why he would do that. So, okay, I see this special tank in front of me, and I see an opportunity to send in Pinsir. And what's going to happen now? Sleeping, he sends in Mew. I Swords Dance. He's going to Thunder Wave me. Now I'm a little worried, right? Because there's 2 kinds of Mews. Or 3, really, but the third one isn't as used, I don't think. So the first kind of Mew is obviously the Swords Dance attacker Mew, who wants to either sink damage into you via Earthquake, Hyper Beam, Body Slam, and then some of them have Explosion. They don't even have Soft Boiled. And then there's the Parasite Mew, right? That's the one I'm a little afraid of. It's the Parasite Mew. And they fixed Transform in Gen 1, so you actually do copy the stat boosts. So if this Mew would have transformed into me, he would copy my massive attack. So I'm a little afraid it's a Parasite Mew, and he plans on stealing. So let's find out what happens. I use Slash, right. So what's this Pinsir? And this is a Parasite Mew. I knew it as soon as he used Reflect. The Parasite Mew is Soft Boiled, Reflect, Thunder Wave, Transform. So you set up your Mew beforehand and give it the edge on the opponent and then transform into them. This Pinsir has Slash, Swords Dance, Hyper Beam, and Submission. So this Pinsir can't hit Gengars. So I took a bit of a risk here, but whatever. Okay. So he's going to transform. He uses Reflect. I don't know if he had the option to not do that. No, he did. But I have Slash, and I can slash through Reflect. So I don't know why he did Reflect when I have Slash going on. Maybe he was afraid of the Hyper Beam, and he's trying to edge something out. But ultimately, I think that was a bad decision on his part. And he transforms into me. He has a Reflect. I get paralyzed. That stinks. He uses Slash. Yeah, so that was an iffy Hyper Beam. I remember calcing that, and I had a 1%. Like, there was a chance he could have lived with 1%, but I gambled it anyway. I was like, okay, well, 1% is pretty low. So, yeah, he was just barely out of my Hyper Beam range, but luckily I get it, and I calced correctly, and I blew through that Reflect. Okay, so Mew's down, out of the way. We have Reflect Chansey, which isn't good for me. Right now, I am planning on sacking my Pinsir, right? I don't want to switch anything into this Chansey because I'm afraid of what it has. Let's see, is my Zapdos? He's asleep already, so it can't sing me. But I don't want any of my Pokemon to get Thunder Waved, and I do have lower mobility than my opponent because I'm using a dumb team. So I have to play the best I can. How do I make this go away? Thank you. So I want to sack my Pinsir. So I'm just going to fire off Hyper Beams, fishing for a crit at this point. I just don't care. There's no point in Swords Dancing again because the Chansey will kill me by the time I tank up anymore. So I want to buy time. I want to fish for the Hyper Beam. I want to make it use Soft Boiled. And maybe if I'm lucky, it'll pay off. Yeah, Soft Boiled. I'm going to recharge, of course. Seismic Toss, that's good for me. That means the Chansey doesn't have a special move to completely destroy my Pinsir, because Pinsir has a mediocre special. Okay, yeah. I get the critical Hyper Beam, which is chef's kiss. That's money. So that removes Chansey and Mewtwo from my wheelhouse, and let's see, Slowbro's asleep too, so that's good. All right, so he says F it. He wants to send in the Mewtwo now. He's tired of this bug. All right, he's just gonna kill it right away. Right away. All right, so I'm gonna go Jolteon. Why? Okay, let's think about what I have to counter Mewtwo, because ultimately you're playing around Mewtwo. Like, you're gonna have to sack something, I'm pretty sure. I want to paralyze the Mewtwo right off the bat, and I don't want to take my chances with something else. So who do I have left? I have Snorlax and Slowbro left. And I don't know what kind of Mewtwo is. I could potentially have a leg up if it's a Psychic Ice Beam Mewtwo. But really, I find that Bolt Beam Mewtwo is the strongest Mewtwo, is the most painful Mewtwo to go up against. Some run Psychic Thunderbolt, some run Psychic Ice Beam, some run Bolt Beam. So I'm biding my time. Oh, look, a hinge a hinge message. Let's get laid, boys. Thank you, Hannah. Anyway, I'm buying time, right? I'm fishing this Mewtwo, hoping it's going to show me its moves, and I can figure out my next strategy. But right off the bat, I want to paralyze it, and then I'm going to fish for crits with Jolteon to see what it has, and if I feel comfortable, I'm going to switch. But if it's a Bolt Beamer, I'm probably going to send in Snorlax just to make a gambit on killing Mewtwo. So let's find out what I do. I get the Thunder Wave. Alright, now I'm fishing. He's para-hacked. Boom, nice fat crit. I remember what I do here. Okay, so we have the infamous half health going on, and the person usually wants to heal when they're at half health, so I predict this and capitalize on it, and I take this chance to send in my Snorlax. And presumably he was going to heal there, but he gets paralyzed. So this is an all-out attacking Snorlax. Kind of. It's a unique attacking Snorlax. I have Body Slam, Hyper Beam, Earthquake, and Blizzard instead of Self-Destruct for in case I feel really crazy and I want to fish for a freeze, or if the opponent has a Rhydon or a Rock type, because it does wall Snorlax. So he's not in Hyper Beam range. Mewtwo is just so broken. Snorlax's Hyper Beam doesn't even have a 100% chance of killing this Mewtwo right now. So I'm going to Body Slam it. Luckily, he gets hacked into oblivion, and I can just kill off the Mewtwo, get a little bit of good fortune on my side. He's going to send in the Tauros. That's fine with me. I have a big fat Snorlax for him. Body Slam War. Body Slam. I'm out of Tauros' Hyper Beam range, right? Usually when you see a yellow with Tauros, you're like, oh boy, it's killing time. Not with Snorlax. Snorlax has a lot of HP, and I'm not too worried about this. However, he is in my Hyper Beam range, so we're gonna have a little war here. And I'm gonna win, because I'm fatter. He sends in a Slowbro, and it's pretty much GG from here. So we have a nice short match, dominating a Uber's team. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will upload a few more if I have them. I think I have one saved somewhere, and it's a high-level OU match back when I was on the grind for 1500 for my first time, trying to get good at OU, and I had a match against quite the bully against in OU, and so I could probably do some competitive analysis on that one. All right, guys, so hope you enjoyed.